In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this 4 foot by 8 foot workbench and my worst SketchUp skills. I built this for an upcoming project. This simple build needs 8 2x4s and 1 sheet of melamine. The bench has 2 sides and both sides are joined by 8 stretchers. You can modify the dimensions to make it bigger or smaller. Watch the video for detailed build instructions. If you need a cut list, leave me a comment. The first step is to build 2 sides. Each side is made of 2 stretchers, one on top, one on the bottom, and 4 legs. The legs are screwed to the stretcher. Ignore my SketchUp skills. You need 9 2x4s for this build. The first step is to build the 2 sides. The 2 sides includes 8 legs and 2 stretchers. The height of the leg is 32 inches and you need 4 legs on each side for this build. The stretcher is one 8 foot 2x4 and you need 2 of them. The first cut you'll make is not the final cut. Measure a little more than 32 inches and draw a line. You'll need that extra inch or inches to make the corner square because the 2x4 corners are never square. Use a miter saw or a circular saw to make the first cut. You can follow any process to get to 32 inches, but this is my preferred process. After the first cut, measure 32 inches from the corner and draw a line. If you are using a miter saw, using a stop block will get you to the accurate cuts. I don't have a stop block set up, so I'm using a square 2x4 and a 15-pound weight to act as a stop block. For attaching legs to stretcher, use 2.5 inch screws. In my case, this is a temporary workbench, so I'm not using any glue. But if you are building this as your permanent workbench, adding glue will help. Place the legs on 2 stretchers and drill pilot holes and drive screws. Using a speed square will help to get legs in 90-degree angle. Attach the corner legs first and then move on to the center legs. For center legs, measure equal distance from the corner legs and follow the same process of drilling pilot holes and then driving screws. If you don't drill pilot holes, the wood can split. So take a minute to drill pilot holes. Using a clamp to secure the legs to the stretcher will help. To make the second side, follow the process I am going to show you. This process will eliminate any measurements and will make sure both sides are identical. Use the side you just made as a reference and place the second side stretchers on the top of the first one, and then place the legs accordingly. Once both are aligned, drill pilot holes and drive the screws. Repeat this process for all 4 legs. For attaching 2 sides, you need 8 center stretchers. Use a miter saw or a circular saw to cut the stretchers. Place the joining stretcher on the corner of the table side we built earlier. Drill pilot holes and then drive screws. Make sure the joining stretcher is flush to the top of the table side. Use clamps for support when driving screws. Drive at least 4 screws for each joint. Repeat this process for all center stretchers. We have joined the stretchers on one side and now we need to join on the other side. If you are using a workbench to build this, you need to carefully bring it down and place the other side on the stretchers. The center stretchers will not be aligned right away to the other side, but that's okay. We are going to use clamps to align as per the plan. Align one center stretcher at a time and drill pilot holes and drive screws. Drive at least 4 screws. Repeat this process to screw other center stretchers. After this process, the table base is complete. If the base is wobbly, drive more screws at the joints and that should make the base sturdy. The top of the table base might have some high spots. Use a hand plane or a sander to remove the high spots. Check the progress often because you don't want to remove more than what's needed. I'm using tabletop fasteners to attach the table to the base. For the tabletop fastener slots, I'm using a biscuit joiner. As an alternative, you can drive screws from the base. Place the melamine board or plywood on top of the base and check the level. Most of the garage floors are not flat. If the table is not level, use wood shims to make it level. If you have noticed the dog roaming around, his name is Apex. He is a lazy guy. Once everything is level, secure the top to the base with tabletop fasteners. Drill pilot holes and drive screws. Especially if you are using melamine or MDF, you need to drill pilot holes, or else there's a good chance the board will split. Overall, this is an easy build and you can build this in a day or two with minimum tools. I'm making a king size headboard and I need a bigger workbench for the build. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please consider subscribing and support my channel. See you next time.